And we are live. Welcome, people. Welcome back to A Dash of Sports, the Premier League show. I'll be your host to present a Dashiki Dash, and I'm back with another one, a roundup of all the match weeks as we do here on this show. We're going to give you a roundup of match week 27 and also be giving you a preview of match week 28 and some score predictions. But I can't do this by myself. I'm going to have Coach Gerald Lami in the building soon enough, Coach G. But before we start, just make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button, comment, and help us to get these subs up, man. We truly appreciate your love and support with that. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Yo, Coach G in the
Yo. What's going on? What's going on, man?
No matter where you are in this place, this
Bro,
world, we got to get it in.
trust me. Do you know what I mean? Dedication, people. Like, man's in the car. Dash hit me up, said, "What are you saying? We need to talk." I said, "Come on, part talk. Let's get it cracking, man. What's going on?"
I appreciate it. I'm good, man. I'm good. Same old. Another week of games just gone by. Some real interesting games, and also included some real hot topics going on in the world of football. More so, just obviously in terms of relations to the Premier League. So, just wanted to get into that. But obviously, you're back in the building. How have you been?
I'm blessed, man. Blessed, bro. Another day, another opportunity for us to chase our dreams. Not trying to get motivational right now, but
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Get it out there.
Do you know what I mean? But people, just one thing, go and get it, man. But yeah, no, I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed, man. Yeah, we've had some entertaining games for sure. The Premier League has entertained us as always. We're going to talk about obviously the hiring and firing as we've spoke about before. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the convo, bro.
Brilliant. So just to give you a heads up in regards to the show itself, we're going to give you the match weeks 27 that's just gone by, a recap of the games, a few of our predictions from last week, and then we'll be going into some Roman Abramovich. Apparently he's going to be handing over some power or some of his power over to the Chelsea Foundation. I'm not sure if that's been made official yet. And then, just as Gerald mentioned, the hiring and firings of managers. We've just had our another manager sacked. Leeds sack Bielsa, which I kind of could see that the writing was on the wall for him. Many obviously were saying that he shouldn't be. But the way Leeds were just losing and just conceding goals, the writing was on the wall for him. And then also, this was an interesting one as well, because there's a lot of Liverpool fans saying that there must be some type of conspiracy in regards to their title race, and that was the Man City Handball Yes or No. So we're going to get into that. And then also, I added this one in late, but I just thought we need to talk about this. The late Arsenal win against Wolves. And then also, I've mentioned this on other platforms, Views TV Official. I mentioned this in regards to Pepe. Is he the striking answer? Could he play that false nine role, especially the way he took his goal against Wolves? So we can get into that. And then last but not least, we'll round it up with the match week 28 preview and predictions and see what matches are going to be presented for us during that round of games. So let's just get straight into match week 27. So I'm just going to bring up the games from the last round of games. So we're looking at the results. So I think the match week started from early, innit?
I can't even get it up right now.
It started from Wednesday. So Wednesday going on through to the weekend. So just quickly, just go through the game. So Wednesday we had Burnley versus Spurs. That was 1-0 Burnley. So in itself, that was crazy. We had Watford 1, Crystal Palace 4. Then Liverpool just slapped up Leeds 6-0, and that was murder she wrote for Leeds. That basically just signified the end of Bielsa. Then obviously we had that tantrum from Conte as well in regards to his loss. Then we went on to Thursday, which was Arsenal versus Wolves. Arsenal winning 2-1 with a late winner for Arsenal, gaining all 3 points in that match. Southampton versus Norwich. I think you said a draw in that game, I believe.
I think so. I can't remember.
Yeah, I went for Southampton. I couldn't see Southampton losing at home. And then Saturday, the real round of games, pretty much from Leeds versus Spurs. After their loss against Burnley, they bounced back with a 4-0 demolition. So that was literally the nail in the coffin for Bielsa. Brentford versus Newcastle. Newcastle still just showing with the signing that they've made during January, it's allowed them to just start climbing up the table. So they won 2-0. Crystal Palace versus Burnley, that ended 1-1. Man United versus Watford. Manu.
You did say though, innit? You did say that as well.
Yeah, man, my boy. Actually, that's not even Wolves.
That's not your boy. That's not your boy, bro.
Watford.
Yeah.
0-0. I don't even know what to say about Man United right now, but it's dry over there. It's dry. Brighton versus Aston Villa. This one I was shocked. 2-0 away from home. Aston Villa win. I think this is the second time that they've lost at home like this as well. I think the Brighton lost at home to Burnley. I think it was 3-0, if I remember correctly. And then now losing 2-0 to Aston Villa. So looking like it's not going so great out over there at Brighton. Then we had Everton versus Man City. This is where the infamous handball happened. Was it a handball? We don't know. Listen, it was
it was a handball, bro.
It was a blatant handball. But Man City ended up winning 1-0 in that game. There, we'll get into that controversy in a moment. And then you went to this game. I probably can get like a little insight into the match itself. West Ham versus Wolves. That was on Sunday. What was that match saying?
Yeah, what we always expect in it from a Wolves side. They were very resilient, very organized, very rigid, hard to break down. West Ham were again trying to break them down as much as they can. I don't know what it is about Wolves. It's like I don't know if it's too negative at times because they've got enough players to push on, do you know what I mean, and win the game. There was opportunities in the game where Wolves could have capitalized, but for some reason it's like they've got their hand on the handbrake, man. I feel like they've got players like we spoke about Juan, Trinquow was playing, Fabio Silva, really, really good player. Good to see him up and close. Like that's when you see the details of these players and how good they are, and bearing in mind he's still very, very young, but just the runs that he was making was creating space for the likes of when Podence came on, to be able to use his trickery and his pace and his dribbling skills. So it was a good game to watch. It was a really good game to watch. As much as there wasn't many goals in it, I just felt like at times where Wolves could have attacked them a little bit more. But as a team, as a collective, they're not conceding goals for no reason, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, well, they're not conceding, innit? So, again, it was a good game. Good game. I reckon West Ham will probably deservedly so to win the game. But your boy Bruno Lage, he's doing a great job with Wolves, and they just got some serious players, man. Kilman, I said to you, innit? He is a tower, bro. Kilman, like I wouldn't want to play against him. Do you know what I mean? On the ball, he's a little bit shaky on the ball. But again, as a unit, as a collective, Cody, Sace, and Kilman with Jose Sarr, who I feel like is a very, very good goalkeeper. His distribution was really good in the game. I feel like if Man United are looking for a goalkeeper, I'm not saying just because he looks like De Gea, but I reckon he will be.
I see the similarities that you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, he could be a good addition for United. In terms of a goalkeeper if they're looking to replace De Gea, man. But yeah, overall, good game to watch.
And West Ham at the moment, how have they been looking? Because they've not been overly convincing, maybe in the last few games or so. How did they fare? Because obviously they're winning 1-0. What are you thinking about West Ham's chances in regards to top four?
Yeah, well, the win didn't do them any harm against Wolves. Wolves were obviously, I wouldn't say in the race, but they were causing a bit of a havoc in terms of that sort of top four race. But with West Ham, I feel like it's hard because I feel like their strength within the squad at the moment is quite scarce. So they've obviously got Europa League, dealing with the Premier League's demands. It takes its toll and it will catch up on you, especially players like Antonio, where really and truly he's the only out-and-out striker that they have. So it is quite difficult. There's a lot of pressure, and that's why we've seen sometimes Jarrod Bowen go down the middle. But I think they're in a contention. You can't rule them out. Do you know what I mean? They're at the end of the day, they've got nothing to lose. They've got more to gain. They're in the last 16s of the Europa League. If they can progress from that, I don't know how it'll affect them in the Premier League. But as of now, they're up there. Last 16 of the Europa League. What are they, 5th right now in the Premier League? So they couldn't ask for a better season, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for you guys that don't know, Coach G, he does his match day vlogs, another brilliant vlog in regards to just the fan experience. Going to the London Stadium, West Ham versus Wolves. Go and check that out. The links will be in the description area so that you'll be able to check out the video itself and many other match day vlogs. So just go and check that out. Make sure that you like and subscribe and all of that. Do you know what? I just want to let's just jump straight into the Man City controversy of the handball. The whole world's seen it. The VAR situation once again is to be questioned. This is what VAR has obviously been brought in for. Yourself and I, we don't have any problems with VAR, but we just have the issues in regards to how it's being used. A situation like that, how is that not being deemed a handball?
Mate, that's a good question, bro. That's a very good question. Like, I just feel like I don't know if there's like a bias towards these big clubs and whatnot. I really don't know, man, because we've seen it with Arsenal. How many times have things gone against us, and players getting sent off and penalty shouts going away from us? Like, I don't know, man. That's a good question. I can't answer that. I cannot answer that to say to you this is the reason why they probably looked at it. I heard there's some theories about it was an offside before that or something like that. I don't know exactly, but at the end of the day, it was a handball. Do you know what I mean? So
clear and
handball.
obvious.
Yeah, it's a clear and obvious handball. So that's a good question. I don't know. Can you answer it? Because I can't.
Do you know what? When you see decisions like that being made, you try to kind of see, okay, something as blatant as this, where is the other side of the coin? What is the other side of the coin? Like where are you seeing that it's not a handball? How can you justify that it's not a handball? And up until now, it's been a good number of days, and I've watched it on many occasions. The whole issue about it being, the sleeve area, it doesn't count. It's underneath the sleeve area. If you're saying it's accidental, unfortunately, the arm is in an unnatural position, so that squashes that. So where is it not being deemed a handball? Why is it not being reviewed properly in regards to the decision? Now that's cost Everton. No, it's not just about the Man City situation and the title race. That's cost Everton as well. And decisions like this, come the end of the season, could be the difference between staying up or going down. We saw the whole issue in regards to the Aston Villa and Sheffield United when the ball crossed the line and that wasn't the goal line technology wasn't working, and that ultimately it's cost Sheffield United. You know what I'm saying? So like we don't see the significance of those decisions now, but the impact of it could definitely be felt later on. So I definitely feel like it is a situation where, you know, when it comes to the big teams, you know, these decisions don't go or it goes for them rather than going against them. So, you know, I'm hearing that Everton right now, they want to do like appeals and they want to
They ain't gonna win that.
I know they got money there, but I don't think they're gonna have enough money to kind of push that. And it would be unprecedented to kind of see a decision like that to be pulled back. What could they possibly do? Like, could they run it back? This ain't Sunday League.
They can't. Nah, they can't run it back, bro. Because if that is the case, then we're gonna have to go and review every single decision that was made, wrong or seen as like the wrong decision. So we're gonna have to go back to the City game against us if we're gonna do that. Then, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're gonna have to review certain things there. We're gonna have to, and then it's just a big rabbit hole. So there's not much that they can do. The only thing that they can probably do is just the officials to make better decisions. But again, it's all this interpretation, which there's a fine line, do you know what I mean? Where back in the days, it was like black and white. This is what it is, do you know what I mean? Where now it's like, if it hits the sleeve, like, how do you know it hit? Like, it's just too much, bro. Like, for me personally, there's not much that Everton can do about it. At the end of the day, they could look at it and be like, well, it's a 90-minute game as well. Do you know what I mean? I know certain situations in the game can make a big difference in the game, but, you know, you got to score goals within those 90 minutes. Don't leave it to the officials. That's what we've always told young players as well. Don't leave, or in boxing. Do you know what I mean? That's what they say, innit? Don't leave it into the judge's hands.
I know this I know this is a football show, but the absolute robbery in the Josh Taylor fight with Jack Catterall, it was unbelievable. You know, Catterall winning the fight. Everybody's seen it. Everybody's seen it in the stadium, the arena, whatnot. And then the decisions given to Josh Taylor. And just like you said, once you leave it in the judges' hands, it's down for their interpretation. If you leave it down to the officials, it's down to their interpretation. At the end of the day, you just got to go out there, score your goals, and just go and try and win your game. But it's always going to be a tough ask against Man City. But at the same time, you got to finish your dinner, as they say. But yeah, man, that was really interesting.
Mate.
Yeah, that was real interesting to see. And like, look, man, I know it's all swings and roundabouts when it comes to decisions. I'm for VAR. I'm gonna always be an advocate for VAR because I feel like it gives the opportunity for reviews. I just believe, like in football, in anything that involves numerics or a sequence of things, it's all swings and roundabouts, isn't it? So one day we get our decisions, and another day we don't get our decisions. And because it is still down to interpretation, someone still has to review it. Someone still has to look and see, like, yo, is this a foul? Is this a handball? Yes or no? Then a decision is made. But we're just aggrieved when it's like blatant decisions that are like, yo, man, this is a handball or this is a foul. And it's not being given. That's the frustration, because the technology is there and it's just like you have the time to watch it now. Like, it's not like a split second where a referee on the pitch only has like a split second to make that decision. You have like a couple of minutes to just be like, you know what? No, that's a handball. And what is now what I'm now kind of just the myth by is the interpretation of the handball. It has to be now. There has to be a definitive interpretation or like a definition, of handball, because we're like, oh, if it hits the band of the sleeve, or if it's below, or if it's, you know what I mean? It's just like all kind of different decisions. It's just crazy.
What if the sleeve's up here, bro? What if the sleeve's up there?
Like, you're like a Darmatrari and it's all up here.
You know what I mean? It's mad. But for me personally, I think we said it before as well. I think it'd be great if officials can come out and speak to us about why the decisions are made. Do you know what I mean? So whether that's quickly for that moment when they're talking to VAR, the mics come on and we hear what they're talking about. Then it makes it a little bit more clear if you're listening to it or watching it from home. Then you can understand what's actually going on. Or at the end of the game, the officials come out same way that players do, same way managers do, and get stick from the press. They need to come out as well and talk and tell us why certain decisions made. You don't have to come every single game, but the ones that, for instance, the City game against Everton, one of the officials need to come out and be a representative and speak to us and let us know why these decisions are made. Because obviously, like you said, now it's not just City, but it's put Everton in a position now. So,
do you know what it is? Ideally, yes, but I understand why the FA wouldn't, or the refereeing governing body wouldn't put their officials in that position, because it's like at that heat of the moment where you don't have a lot of time to kind of, you've made a decision, but then to articulate maybe your decision could be a bit difficult. You could end up stuttering, you're just not making sense, and then the people then start questioning you, and then that's just a further delay in terms of what's to go. Unless there's like opportunities to appeal, like within games or whatever, but it would just be long-winded, because this VAR.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. Sorry, bro. So to cut, but that's what I'm saying. All right, cool. If they don't want to do that after the game because things are heated, just have the whatever conversation that you're having with the person in the VAR station, just have it on the mic, so then we can hear. Right, cool. The reason why it's offside, or the reason why it's not a handball, Mike Dean, is because we've seen this angle. Like, if you want to have a look, have a look. But it's the same conversation that you're having anyway. Just put it on mic so we can hear. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, clarity, similar to what I guess what the NFL do, or do you know what I mean? I don't want it to be too much away from the game, but it's things like this that have ruined teams, I guess, innit? Like, say for instance, imagine Everton get relegated now, like, and they could have, and it was like that game, they could have got a point out of it, and they're down now by 1 point.
Yeah, I think you're all right. I think justification, or just knowing, or clarification of a decision, rather than it being a case where now we're just wondering why. Well, like there's no definitive answer in it on why that was a handball. We might not accept or like the decision, but at least we just kind of know, like, all right, cool. This is why they've given a decision. This is the thinking behind the handball. If any other handballs happen like this again, we understand why. Because now a situation like this, one referee will see it one way and another official will see it another way. And we won't know where's the barometer of like the decision making. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the threshold of the handball? So yeah, that'll be very interesting. Very, very interesting.
100%, bro.
That can be done. Let's round it up there. That was match week 27. If you've not obviously kept up with the score lines, you can go to any of your apps or go online and go and check out the scores. Or once again, just rewind the video, and just check out the scores here on the Dasher Sports Premier League show. Make sure you
follow Dasher Sports as well, bro.
Yeah, man. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Any of the matches that you was obviously interested in, or your team, how well did they do? Did they win, lose, or draw? And how do you feel like your team is doing so far this season? Moving on, it might be deemed quite controversial in regards to what is going on in the world. If you are been sitting underneath a rock and you don't understand the dynamics of the world right now, then man, come out for a bit of air and check it out. There's some rumblings and some war talk and all that kind of stuff, and that is affecting pretty much everything in regards to the way we are living right now, and the whole issue with Russia invasion of Ukraine is now affecting them on all levels, including sports. No exemptions there. We are now hearing that they are pretty much trying to cut down on many Russian businessmen and women who are deemed affiliates of the Putin regime, and now that has come home to roost in regards to Roman Abramovich and his situation. We are hearing now that he's looking to hand over power, not ownership, but power over to the Chelsea Foundation, which has not been made official thus far, but that is the talk, that's the rumblings on what's going on, which will kind of maybe relieve a lot of pressure in regards to Chelsea's owner and his ownership of Chelsea. So what does that mean in regards to handing over power to the foundation?
Bro, first and foremost, man, like condolences to anyone that's lost anyone in this time during this crazy moment that we're in, man. Like, that's the last thing that you want to be hearing, especially the way the world's been and whatnot. And obviously, we're not a political show, and I'm not trying to get too deep into it. But I think it's important to kind of just highlight the seriousness of what is actually going on, man, within the world. So, yeah, that's first things first. But like you said, in terms of power, I think I'll put that into that sort of like power, because he's still gonna have a say. Do you know what I mean? It's paperwork at the end of the day. So whatever that means, he's still gonna have a say. Same way that, you know, Fergie's still around Man United. There's shots being called by him. Do you know what I mean? So I just feel like at the end of the day, it's just a way for him just to cover up whatever's going on at the moment. I don't really know too much, to be honest with you. Even with everything that's going on in the world, I try and stay away too much from the news, because it's hard to see, man. It's hard to see, and especially coming from that sort of region myself and coming from that environment, it does bring back a lot of things. And for me, I'm like, I try to stay away as much as I can from it, because it's hard to see, man. And I feel like powerless as well, because what can I do? Do you know what I mean? If there's anything that we can do, that'll be great. But I feel like it's beyond us at the moment, where the higher powers or whatever, like you said, handing over the powers, whatever that means. Abramovich is still going to be in place, bro.
Yeah. So I think the situation is in terms of, like you said, in the world of business, it is in regards to logistics, it's all about wording, it's all about paperwork. And I feel like this could be a situation where there's a loophole. Ownership is what they're trying to maybe get him to sell up. And like I said, in terms of how the Russian businessmen and women are being seen right now, but by him maybe relinquishing a little bit of power will allow him to obviously still maintain his ownership. But I think all in all, what I would want to try and get from this is to just understand, how would this now affect Chelsea in the footballing sense, as a powerhouse as they've been for many years since Abramovich is here? Because there's rumors if Abramovich gets sanctions, then it would be a situation where if he has to cut, if he has to leave, Chelsea owe him a whopping 1.3 billion. That's the figure that's been touted around. So which will mean, like, all the sugar daddy peas that we put in is not actually, like, look, at the end of the day as well, these owners as well, it's not like they're just doing this out the kindness of their heart, man. You know, they're putting in money because they want the return
it's business
of success, and also return of the coin. And now it's being shown, and we've always, as fans alike, always spoke about this. The day if Roman Abramovich leaves, what will happen to Chelsea? Do you think that Chelsea's model has allowed them to put themselves in a position that if Abramovich leaves, Chelsea will still be okay?
For a couple of years, yeah. I feel like the academy system and the young players that they've got, it's phenomenal. Like, we've seen, like, the loan system that they have, like, every other player goes on loan. For example, Brozier at Southampton, Conor Gallagher, but it's just like,
Arsenal. I want him at Arsenal.
when will that will stop? Do you know what I mean? Because at the moment, you can allow these young players to go out on loan and gain experience. And if they're good enough, like we've seen with Tammy Abraham, come into the setup, Mason Mount come into the setup. And if they're not, then we're able to go and buy players in it. So my question is, how long are they able to essentially, bring in these young players before the quality kind of drops? But I feel like they've built enough repertoire and facilities for them to have built that sort of strong foundation for them to last. But bringing in the top boys, then maybe that's a different question. I think they might struggle with that because, like you said, money talks, innit? So could that shift change to a Newcastle? Who knows?
Hey,
Do you know what I mean?
the new powerhouse in regards to that money. So
Exactly.
it could be very interesting to see the dynamics of Chelsea. I think all in all, in the last week or so, a couple of weeks, while we've been inundated with all of this news in regards to Russia, footballing wise, I don't think it's affected Chelsea thus far. There isn't any like the signs of that filtering down into their football side of things. We've just seen the Carabao Cup final, and what a final it was as well.
Yeah,
Chelsea and Liverpool going hammer and tong. So at the moment, it doesn't look like it is much of effect at this present moment, but we don't know what the future holds. We don't know in regards to how sustainable Chelsea really are. And then maybe we're going to start discovering exactly what type of business model they've had. Like you said, obviously they've got a lot of youngsters out on loan, so they can pull into their reserves in regards to that. They do very good business with that as well. Players that are pretty much kind of unknown, and they're selling them for like 20 million and all that kind of stuff. And you're just like, wow, how the hell are you not doing that? So maybe it might be time for Abramovich to step aside and finally, go out there.
The day's gonna come one day. The day's gonna come one day. So if it happens sooner rather than later, then it's gonna happen. So I would be surprised if there wasn't like a backup plan if it did happen.
Contingency
from whoever. Yeah, I would be very, very surprised because there's always been talks of like, what if he goes, or what if he just pulls out and just leaves Chelsea? What would they do? So it's very surprising if there wasn't some sort of backup plan going forward. If he did leave, do you know what I mean?
It'll be very interesting to see Chelsea of synonymous, especially in the recent times and futures. And if they were what we can say the innovators of the sugar daddy, the first in the Premier League. Obviously, Abramovich coming in with a multitude of money, just buying out the shop in regards to players, and he's kind of just they changed the game, the Premier League game, in terms of that. Then we started to see, Man City, and then now we're seeing Newcastle, and not to there's been other billionaire owners as well. Aston Villa have billionaire owners, Arsenal have billionaire owners, but I think when it comes to as an owner, as wanting to win trophies, we can't knock Abramovich for that. Chelsea's trophy cabinet is laden with trophies. So he's done well in that retrospect. But in regards to what we've been talking about with the whole Russian situation, if it has been deemed that he's more on a political side of things, and it comes to the situation where it's affecting football, then decisions have to be made. And like you said, we're not politicians. I'm not too savvy when it comes to politics, so I don't want to really dive into that side of things, but it would just be very interesting to see Chelsea in terms of their footballing side, how that works out for them. So if anybody's got like information about the whole business side of things in regards to Chelsea and Abramovich, man, put your comments down below and let us know what it actually means in regards to the his ownership, and also him shifting power over to the Chelsea Foundation. We'll love to get your views on that.
Bro, quick one. Sorry, bro. For some reason, my phone is not charging. I'm on 6%.
Oh, damn. Don't worry, man.
I've got the charger, but if it cuts out, it's because of the charger. So people, I apologize. Do you know what I mean? This was like last minute, and we just kind of got on it. But yeah, if it will cut out of it. I don't know why. It's charging, but then it just dropped. Hey, subscribe, people. We need new phones.
Yeah. If there's any sponsors out there, you're hearing it right now, man.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. If there's any sponsors out there, what are you on, iOS?
Nah. This is an Android, but I'm jumping on iOS.
There you go, guys.
I'm jumping still. I've been looking at the iOS. I used to be, but yeah, man.
Man, come over to the bright side. But
Yeah,
yeah, man, all
subscribe,
good, man.
people.
It's live, and we do what we got to do. So yeah, as long as whatever time we have with Coach G in the building right now, we will cherish those moments. So quickly, just moving on to in terms of just like power, in terms of a leader, Leeds have sacked Bielsa,
Bionic
someone that.
knees.
Yeah, man, Mr. Bionic Knees is out. And I said this on the last show. If you lot were watching, if you didn't get the chance to watch that show, go back and watch it. Links will be in the description area. I said, man, I think Bielsa, the time is up, and it's weird coming from me because I am a person that tries to give these managers time. I truly believe that managers do need time. Arteta went for a mad period in regards to his results, and if we can afford him time, surely we can afford someone like Bielsa time. But I just felt like the sequence, the matches, the way he was playing, there was never a time that you can really see like he's on the up curve. Everything that we can see is more like it's a down curve, and this is from last season as well. From the back end of last season, we've gone into this season, and they've just been gifting goals, man, goals galore. The way the defending as well has been poor, and it just looks like he's just hell bent on playing one way. He's not shown whatsoever in regards to like, you know what, just for these next run of results, next run of games, let's just try and play like this so we can get the points on the board. I know we can play like this. There is maybe a tad of an excuse in regards to why we're not getting the results because we don't have these players or whatnot. Maybe when these players come back, but he's not been on changing his style, and ultimately it's cost him his job. But a load of Leeds fans have actually not wanted Bielsa to be sacked. Look, what's your take on it?
Bro, I'm gonna miss him, man. I'm gonna miss Bielsa. Those bionic knees, sitting in that drink box or whatever it was. The interpreter who, do you know what I'm
lost
saying?
his job, bro. That's it.
Yeah,
He's
do you know what
out.
I mean?
What's he gonna do?
Like, bro, that to me, when I see that interpreter, yeah, reminds me of old Premiership, not Premier League, Premiership. When you got these foreign managers coming in, they don't speak no English.
That's old Poch,
They got into old Poch, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't remember who else, but bro, like, I'm gonna miss it. Just the style of football, like, you knew. Whoever Leeds is playing, you know it's going to be an entertaining game. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's whether there's going to be goals, whether there's going to be goals conceded. I just feel like he said same thing. He's a very stubborn manager who doesn't want to change. And at the end of the day, I kind of get it as well, because if he's going to get sacked, he might as well get sacked the way he wants to play football, innit? Do you know what I mean? So there's no compromising, which some people look at and be like, well, you could have changed a little bit considering you've had players that's been out, the likes of obviously Calvin Phillips, Patrick Bamford, which has made a big difference this season. I know a lot of people talk about second season syndrome, especially teams that come up, but I feel like the absence of Patrick Bamford and Calvin Phillips made a big difference, man, to why he got sacked as well. So yeah, Bielsa, thanks for the memories, man. Like, bro, he's and people hold him in high regards. Like, you see a lot of managers talk about him as the godfather, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
in
exactly.
terms of the way he plays football. So yeah, he's going to be highly missed. But Leeds fans, they should obviously be proud of being a yo-yo club in, like, between Championship, League One, and he's finally got them back to the promised land. So I'm not surprised why a lot of Leeds fans are probably upset that he's gone, but I think the time was right to kind of change, because his style of football and training as a player, it must be hard, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, turn up every single day to that training ground and to get work like that. And I've heard a lot of Leeds fans say, like, regardless of whatever the result is on the Saturday, they know their players are going to give 100%. Do you know what I mean? So to see players still give 100%, like, even though they're losing 4-0, I'm still seeing Leeds players running after like 5-0 or 4-0, and I'm thinking, wow, that's incredible, man. So yeah, hats off to Bielsa, and hopefully we can get another one with another interpreter coming in, man. In the Premier League, we need that.
Well, I'm hearing it's an American manager. I'm not too savvy
Yeah,
with his name. I think it's like is it Marshall March or
Marshall.
something like that? Which is I'm guessing it's a move from the Leeds owners in regards to that and getting one of their guys in. It's going to be real interesting to see what if someone could come in with how intense Bielsa was with his style of play. If someone could come in and just kind of adjusts it, tweaks it, or just scraps that book and starts up again in terms of a model that will be sustainable to be able to survive. And I think survival is key in regards to that for Leeds. I don't want to see Leeds go down back to the Championship. I have a soft spot for Leeds. From the days of Tony Yeboah, probably showing my age a little bit there. Your Mark Vidukas, your Lee Bowyers, your Alan, all of these players, man, from back in the days. Leeds, once upon a time, had a serious team. Don't be watching Leeds right now and be thinking, this Leeds were serious back in the days. Historically, they're one of the top teams in England. And just to be able to, if they were to go down, it would be a real shame. But I feel like if someone's able to go into that team right now and just work off what Bielsa's done, they can really have a good team. That intense football is mad because I remember when Poch was started off at Spurs, there was a lot of injuries there at Spurs as well with that intensity. Even Jurgen Klopp as well. Remember the first year or two with Liverpool, they were pulling up with mad injuries as well. So it's very, very difficult to sustain that type of football without getting these injuries. But this is where you now need to be like, all right, cool. When I don't have these players, can I play a different way? Can I play a different style? And I'm all for people going for what their philosophy is. But at the same time, I feel like Coach G's out. I feel like when you are in a situation where you are not able to sustain that type of football, then you need to change it up. And a lot of the times that was like with Arsene Wenger as well, like just only playing one style, one approach, despite needing to maybe just switch it up a bit in certain games. And when he did, for example, Arsenal versus Man City, he's put Santi Cazorla deeper in that deeper role. And what a game Santi Cazorla had. And also Arsenal looked like a whole different team. So, you're just asking for the manager to be able just to kind of soften up a little bit when things are not going, the way it's meant to be going. But it'll be very, very sad. It's a sad moment in terms of losing such a great manager who's influenced a lot of managers in terms of their styles, the likes of Pep Guardiola's. You can see obviously the likes of Pochettino at Spurs as well. Kind of maybe a student of the Bielsa style. So yeah, man, it was something that I felt it was going to happen this season. A lot of fans was saying that they don't want to see Bielsa. They can't see Bielsa getting sacked. But lo and behold, Leeds have pulled the trigger and they've made a decision and sacked Bielsa. So what will be next for Bielsa? I don't know. Would he maybe look into retirement, or would he look to go on and manage another team? Very interesting. And also, for you guys, what do you think Leeds' chances now of survival is going to be now they've got a new manager? Do you think that they've made the right decision, or do you think that man, they're bound to go down into the Championship? Man, leave your comments down below and let me know and what you think about the Leeds situation. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe also as well. And if you are obviously watching live, share this link. All right, moving on to Man City. Obviously we spoke about the handball situation. Make sure that you comment in regards to that. Do you think it was handball or not? A shame that Coach G is not here right now because I wanted us to discuss the whole Arsenal situation. Pepe coming on to score, and also the late winner, which wasn't Lacazette's goal, but it was a strong effort from Lacazette to obviously force the situation, and then also scoring the last minute winner. what I wanted to ask, the question is, and I've mentioned this on other platforms, like I said, Views TV official, in regards to Pepe being a false nine for Arsenal. Now, I know it's only one game, and he's only just been getting his chances now in regards to kind of showing whether or not he would be suited for that role. But I still believe, and look, I'm not the biggest Pepe fan. If you know me, I'm not the biggest Pepe fan. In fact, I feel like he's pretty much had his time at Arsenal. But I believe that if he gets his chance now in that area where he doesn't have so much of the defensive duties, would he be able to have an impact on the team this season? Let me just check here quickly. yes, D Wade. Yes, corruption regarding Man City can only be yes. That's what people are saying. It must be corruption. It must be corruption. It was a clear penalty. Yep, 100%. We discussed that just a little bit earlier in regards to the penalty situation. I don't think anybody can really go against that in terms of it not being a penalty. Yes, Pepe, super sub for now only. That's what I'm saying as well right now. I believe like at this present moment, if he can he be an impact player? Because we've seen it before. Like you give him his chance to start the games, and then he's not being as impactful when he comes on. I feel like if he's being used as a super sub, that might build his confidence. If he's scoring the goals that he needs to be scoring, that's going to build up his confidence. And you can see a player like Pepe is a confident type of player. You know, he needs to build that confidence. He needs to kind of, sometimes you see Pepe, he's got that, you know, Tony Marcelo kind of look about him where he's no smiling. Even sometimes when he scores goals, he's not smiling. But from what Arteta's been saying lately, since he's come back from AFCON, he looks like a rejuvenated player. He looks like there's a bit of confidence in there. And maybe that could come to the point where Arteta's kind of now showing that he has a little bit more confidence in him. The understanding is there in regards to his, what he needs to do on the pitch. I just feel like if he is excused of those defensive duties, you might still see a better Pepe. A Pepe that is just, going to just do one job and one job only, and that is on the attacking side. And then you might then start seeing the Pepe that we saw in France, taking on players, taking in shots, that cutting onto his left and slotting it back post. When he whips it, we've all seen that, he's trademarked like kind of whipping the ball into the top corners and stuff like that. And mind you, let me just say that the goal that he took, that was a really good goal, man. The turn and the shot. I think Arteta, Lacazette also had a kind of similar type of shot that was near post and the keeper saved. But you saw from Pepe and how he took it and taking a shot early without, giving the goalkeeper a chance to see how he's setting up is the reason why he scored the goal. But let me know what you think, though, man. Just another comment here. But who to leave out for him? Do you know what? That question in itself is actually a good one in regards to Arsenal's situation. From a point of view of like, we don't have the biggest squad, but if we're able to have players that can come in and make a difference, we'll welcome that. We've at the moment Arsenal, you've got the likes of Martinelli, you've got Emil Smith-Rowe, who's our top goal scorer this season, Saka, and then you got the likes of Pepe then to obviously coming into the squad as well, to the first team. To answer the question, I don't know. It's a difficult one, isn't it? It is really a difficult one. I think maybe at the present moment, it could be between Martinelli and Pepe. They can kind of alternate. ESR at the moment, he's dealing with some slight niggles of injuries. Maybe between those three there, the rotation. Saka's always going to be picked first in that bunch of players there, and then the rest of them really going to have to rotate in regards to who will play. But this is the good thing about it, the competition, man. Competition is what Arsenal needs. You need these young players to be fighting for their place and showing the manager that, yo, I deserve this spot. And if these players are growing together as young as they are, 19s, 21s, 22s, if they're growing together like this and they're playing at the high point of their ability and competing for these spots, then it can only benefit Arsenal. And at the end of the day, we need goals as well. Arsenal needs goals. So if Emil Smith Rowe scoring, if you got Martinelli chipping in with the goals, you've got Pepe coming in and being able to score, Saka, we need goals, because at the present moment we don't have that out and out striker. As much as Lacazette is very hard working, puts in a shift, the goals are just not there for him. And it is real frustrating, because if he was just able to add the goals with the hard work, you would consider this a real top Premier League striker. But it's just the situation that we're in. Aubameyang obviously gone to Barcelona and scoring these goals, so we definitely need the goals there. Yes, Marcus. A huge waste. Arsenal apparently have a lack of funds and spent record a fee for a sub. Sometimes it gets like that, man. It gets like that. I wouldn't say it's all down to how you see things, in it, perspective in regards to that. 72 million was a lot of money. Whether it be a waste of money, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. At the present moment, it seems like it's been a waste of money, but we only can just see what the future lies for Pepe. This is why I was just saying that, for me, I feel like this could be the last chance saloon for him. If he is played more in that attack role and his excuse of his defensive duties somewhat. I know, obviously, being a forward, you're still going to have to defend in somewhat way. But if he is being pressed on the attacking side of things and given that opportunity to flourish there, then he might show his worth in terms of the money spent. But this is the question I want to put out to you. Do you think that Pepe would be well suited as a false nine, or do you think that he should still continue with his role? And the question that was also put out in regards to who would you leave out for him? If you are now looking to play Pepe, who would you play in these? Who would you take out of the team? Would it be Martinelli? Would it be Emil Smith Rowe? Saka? Put your comments down below and let me know in that situation there. Enough about Arsenal, because I don't want people to be like, oh, hey, he's talking about Arsenal too much. But that is my team. That's the team I support. Let's move on to match week 28. So we are going now into the fixtures, the next round of games to see coming up. So we have, I didn't even know there was matches today. So today, March the 1st, Tuesday, we have Burnley versus Leicester. Burnley have been doing really good at the moment, man. They've been getting some really good results. And the thing about Burnley is, like, they go through a period of time where we start questioning whether or not they're going to go down or they're going to survive. And then all of a sudden, Sean Dyche, aka Triple H, starts getting these run of results. Leicester, Leicester being Leicester, this season, they've not been able to amount the points that they usually do earlier on in the season to be, in and around that top four reckoning. They've not been performing well this season. Maybe it is the combination of being in Europe and also trying to push on all fronts in the Premier League. Off the back of last season winning, obviously, the FA Cup and the Community Shield, you would have thought that it would have been a springboard for them, but it's not been the case. I will go with a Burnley win, and I will say 2-0 to Burnley in that game. I can't really see Leicester really going down to Burnley Turf Moor and doing bits there. Then moving on to Saturday's matches. Once again, we've got, so that Burnley game must have been a game in hand, because we've got Leicester versus Leeds. This is going to be Leeds' first game without Bielsa. Pretty much kind of just judging on Leicester's performance against Burnley could determine the results. Would there be a new managerial bounce for the players for Leeds? I don't know. But the way Leeds have been performing as of late, I don't see Leeds winning that game. I can see Leicester going into that game and winning. Aston Villa versus Southampton. This is going to be a real good game. I can see Aston Villa. Oh, Southampton have been performing though. Oh, I'm going to go for a Southampton win. I feel like maybe Southampton will win. If I was to give a score prediction, maybe 2-1 to Southampton. Let me know if you agree or disagree with these score lines. I'm just going to give you some just off the scuff. I've not really thought about this, the matches or the score lines, but I'm just, as I'm seeing the teams and the games, I'm giving you my score lines. Next game after that will be Burnley versus Chelsea. Chelsea going to need to win, man, because there are the teams that are fighting for top 4 are now looking at Chelsea and seeing whether or not the situation will be easy for them to kind of catch up to Chelsea. Let's see what we got here. Southampton on form, but you think a draw? Yeah, I was gonna say a draw, but I'm gonna go with the fact that they're in form right now. I can see Chelsea winning, but I think like at the moment, Chelsea with the lack of goals, it'd probably be like a 1-0 Chelsea. So I'm gonna go with that 1-0 Chelsea. Newcastle versus Brighton. Could see a Newcastle win there. Gonna go with a 2-0 Newcastle. Norwich versus Brentford. This is gonna be a tricky game, man. I can see Norwich performing well at home, but at the same time, let's see. What's that? Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea to scrape a 1-0 win. I agree. What are we saying about Norwich versus Brentford? I'm going to go with a draw in that game. Can't really see who would win in that game. So I'm going to go for a draw. Let's go with a 1-1. Norwich versus Brentford. Wolves versus Crystal Palace. My boy Bruno Lage versus Uncle Pat. Patrick Vieira. I'll always mention this about Vieira. Arsenal, you guys are a disgrace. You need to, erect that statue for Patrick Vieira. That's the invincible captain right there. Put a statue up for him. All right, Arsenal, you got to do that. Bruno Lage versus Patrick Vieira. Wolves versus Crystal Palace. I can see. Wolves just winning that game. I can see Wolves winning that game. Score for that game, though, I'm not sure. I will go with maybe 2-1 Wolves. Let's go 2-1 Wolves. Then, who's using my phone there? Then I will say the next game, Liverpool versus West Ham, which is going to be a tricky game in itself. But Liverpool right now, man, they're on fire, man. But West Ham, they're doing their thing as well. I think it'll be very obvious for me to be like, Liverpool going to win, but I will say they will. But I think it's going to be closer than what most will think. I will go with a 2-1 Liverpool win. So I'm going for 2-1 Liverpool. See West Ham scoring, but Liverpool win that game. Let's just catch up with some of the suggested scores as well from you guys. Newcastle low scoring draw with Brighton. Okay. That's interesting. Norwich versus Brentford. You're going for a home win to Norwich. So I've said draw. Crystal Palace, you're going 2-1. And then Liverpool, 3-1, 2-1. I think you might be right on that. Maybe I'm kind of downplaying it. I could see a 3-1 as well, but I'll stick with my 2-1 and you go with your 3-1. And then Sunday's round of games will be between Watford and Arsenal. Come on, Arsenal. 3 points is a must and it is needed in regards to the push for top 4. But this will be a tricky game. We saw what Watford did with Man United, although Man United are not in the greatest form at the moment. That was 0-0, Man United versus Watford. But with this game, Watford versus Arsenal, I will be going with an obvious Arsenal win. In regards to me picking Arsenal, not the fact that it's going to be obvious for Arsenal to win, but I would say Arsenal to win 2-1 away from home. I believe it's going to be a close game just for the fact that Watford will try to turn up. You've got the likes of, Hodgson there, who when Arsenal were playing Crystal Palace, we used to have a lot of problems with Palace. So Roy Hodgson is renowned for stifling Arsenal's work. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Arsenal. Then we're going to be moving on to the big game. Let's see here. We have to win 2-0, I believe. Okay, yeah, 2-0. I reckon Watford will score at home, so 2-1. And then moving on to the big game, Man City versus Man United. So the Manchester derby. Do you know what? We see Man United obviously drawing 0-0 with Watford, but these are the type of games that I see Man United turning up for. It's a bit of a mad one. All of the bad performances that Man United were having, then when they turn up against Man City, then they end up winning. So it's going to be a difficult game. I don't think Man City is going to have this game all their way. It's going to be a tough one for me to kind of predict, but I feel like Man United are going to win that game. I think they could win that game 2-1. I'm going to go for a Man United win 2-1. But you may feel otherwise, but I can just, for some reason, I feel like Man United, especially off the back of not doing well against Watford, they'll probably come out against Man City, and then the players that are of quality will raise their game against Man City. You know, the likes of Pogba's, your Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo, all of a sudden will just turn up. Your Jadon Sancho's and the rest of them. Let's see what we see here. Man City 2-1, I hope. Yeah. We know why. I don't think many Arsenal fans want to be seeing Liverpool trying to go for that title again. So there will be a lot of support for Man City. And also just for the fact that, not many people do really like Man United. So it'll be very interesting to see in that game. But I've just got a sneaky feeling there's going to be 2-1 to Man United. And then we have a game on Monday. Let me just unlock my phone here. Spurs versus Everton. Frank Lampard going back to Tottenham, obviously formerly affiliated with the Chelseas and all of that kind of stuff. Tottenham will win that game. Everton right now, I'm not sure that Lampard has really got what he wants to do at Everton, nailed down at the moment. He's still obviously trying to find his feet there. It wasn't too bad a performance against Man City, but I just feel like, off the back of the win with Leeds, Tottenham probably feeling a bit fresh right now, going back home to the Tottenham Stadium. And then you got the likes of Kane and Son obviously performing out of their skins against Leeds, which is, Leeds being Leeds. It was not so much of a difficult game, but, it just boosts their confidence in that. But at the same time, we're saying all of that. We've seen how inconsistent Tottenham have been. 1 week they're beating Man City, then the next week they're losing against Burnley, then they beat Leeds. You never know, might come across Everton and then it might be a difficult game. But from just off the back of the Leeds game, maybe a bit of confidence was needed, especially with all the stuff that Conte was saying in regards to, look at this one here. 2-0 Everton. Rah. 2-0 Everton. Is that what you're saying, yeah? Who's going to score? As bad as Leeds was, Leeds could have scored for themselves. Yeah, that is very true. That is actually very true. And I think that's been the situation with Leeds as well. In many games that they've had massive opportunities, man, to score goals and they've not taken it. So yeah, do you know what? After saying what I said in regards to the confidence of Spurs, just thinking about how inconsistent they've been, you never know that could turn out to be the case. But 2-0, do you think that Spurs might not score? Very interesting. Yeah, man. I'll make sure that I star that, and when it comes to next week's review, in regards to the recap of the games, we can see whether or not you got that score line right. But yeah, that's the round of games for match week 28. And then after Monday, there's the more round of games Thursday. Then moving on to Saturday. Do you know what? Actually, let me read out the games on Thursday. So the Tottenham versus Everton was Monday. Then we've got Thursday's game, which is Southampton versus Newcastle, Wolves versus Watford, and then Leeds versus Aston Villa. So there's some interesting games. So Thursday's games will be Southampton versus Newcastle, Wolves versus Watford, and Leeds versus Aston Villa. So, see those games as you see fit in regards to where those score lines are going to be. Who's going to be favoring Southampton, Newcastle. That's going to be a really good game. So I'm going to look out for that. Just looking into your comments again. Man like Obi-Wan Iwobi, the Nigerian Jedi. Boy, hopefully with his Arsenal links, he might be able to do Arsenal a good favor there and get to score. Oh, Dele Alli going back to Tottenham. That's going to be very interesting to see. Do you know what? Actually, let me not discount Everton, innit? That's going to be a real tasty game. I'm really going to be locked into that game and seeing where the points would obviously be going. Would it be going to Tottenham or would it be going to Everton? But yeah, man, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Obviously, Gerald Lami was here in the cut, but due to obviously technicals and his phone cutting out, he's no longer here. But he will be back here next week on the Premier League show, a Dash of Sports Premier League show. But if you need more information about future episodes regarding a Dash of Sports, the main show itself, and also the Premier League show, make sure that you check the links in the description area and you won't be able to miss a show. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with all your kinfolk, with all your family and friends. And I appreciate all your love and support. And until the next time here on a Dash of Sports Premier League show, peace.